Hello and welcome back to the History Armada. I am Shield Bro, but you can call me John. Welcome back. It has been quite a while since I made a last video. Just to give you a reason why, I am a middle school teacher, and by the time I get done actually teaching, I don't really have the motivation or time to make videos to do further teaching, which I know is kind of a lame excuse, but that's just kind of where it is. But today I want to talk to you about something that's kind of close to my heart. So I'm going to start ramping back up. I'm going to start trying to do videos. I'm not going to make any promises, but I do want to say that there's a video today and a week from today as well, and I'm going to try to keep that rolling. But today we are discussing paganism and religion in modern America. So this is very unique to me and kind of close to my heart, like I said, and it has a lot to do with several factors of America and its history, and I think it would be unique to talk about. So, using contemporary paganism as her primary example, Carol Barner-Berry, who is a professor of political science at the University of Maryland, has argued about this point of minor religions and the effects they are having upon them. This point that she is arguing is that minority rights and protections are to a very great extent what the majority is willing to allow or at least tolerate. Meaning, you can only have as many rights as the majority think is deemed fit. Which is kind of a frightening thought, because this so-called tolerance is dependent upon a party that is already looking down upon you, which is part of the country that you live in and who you are, but it's a relative concept. For instance, some pagans, such as Wiccans, Germanic pagans, and others, regard wearing certain pendants, as shown here, as an important affirmation of their identities and their beliefs, while others have been dismissed from school, fined at their employment, or separated from their children for making similar statements and wearing similar symbols. Barner-Berry argues that these minority religions are barely believed to exist by Christian majority within America, and that they often are injured either economically, socially, or politically because they have a religion that is deemed unfit by that Christian majority. So really what the point of this video is going to be about is several ways pointing out the history of paganism in America and how often the Christian majority stamps out religions they do not understand. And right there, I believe, is really the key to the issue, is that the majority is often scared of what they do not understand. Whether it be minor religions, pagan religions, or even things such as, xenophobia and Islamophobia. So in Bill Ellis's article, who is a scholar for the University of Kentucky, I believe, he has an article over the occult and the newly rising religions in today's society. He brings up the reality of growing influence of minor religions and their spiritualism, but more importantly, he brings up a very interesting point, and one that you guys are probably really familiar with. So if you look at this symbol, some of you might get a tinge of fear, right? Some of you might be confused, or some of you might recognize it from a horror movie. And that here is my point. In Lucifer Ascending, Bill Ellis argues the effects that pop culture and common belief have in spreading such beliefs and how it sways Americans. Ellis does a great job of highlighting how the media is a huge player in the budding religions and their portrayal. This could be a peaceful symbol, but you would not know because of how the media has twisted it. Ellis does a good job of highlighting this, and Ellis also acknowledges the stigmas attached to such religions, such as paganism and the so-called Satanism, and in his article, Raising the Devil. He argues that the media is so important to the portrayal that it has caused the corrupted and obscured views of such beliefs, and is also the corruption within their ranks in their belief systems. Because we see symbols like these that are taken by the media and twisted, or even just plain made up. And that gives actual minor religions, spiritualities, whatever you want to call them, a very bad name, as they are associated with negative deeds by the media and sometimes corrupt individuals who do bad things with those symbols. So here we see just the absolute sway that pop media and just media in general, pop culture, etc., has on the American populace when it comes to beliefs. Robert Keener, who is an award-winning writer and blogger, brings to light the decline in Christianity among Americans. It is also believed that there was negative effects in the nation due to this. So in his article, Is Christianity Waning in the United States?, he brings to light the fact that, quote, the United States is becoming less religious, a development driven mostly by declining numbers of Catholics and Protestants. The change is notable because it crosses demographic, geographic, and economic lines, end quote. So while the other religions that we have talked about, the smaller spiritualities, are growing, Christianity is slowly declining. And it seems to be driving a wedge between the peoples within our country. Because those that still fastly hold on to their belief are Bible thumping, as they call it, and trying to rally those of their faith, which at the same time is having an adverse effect and driving away more people from their Christian beliefs. And according to a report by the Pew Research Center used in his article, 70.6% of American adults, about 173 million, say they are Christian. That's a lot of American adults. That's the majority. Almost 71% of American adults identify as some sort of Christian. That's a drop of about 5 million adults, or 8 percentage points, since 2007. Which still means they still have the majority, but that is a large percent. 8% decrease is a large amount when we're talking about a population such as the size of America. However, this is not necessarily a bad thing in itself. Keener plays on this change as a strike at the foundation of our country, where in reality it does not adversely affect our nation in the way he is pushing. He says it is driving a wedge because we need to hold on to our Christian beliefs. But I believe that is more negative than positive when we put it that way, because it is driving a wedge between us. Just because a religion is shrinking does not mean it will have negative effects on our country or our country's history. And I believe that is a big issue that we have to face as a nation, as there has always been smaller religions within the country. This one we are going to look at is an example from history. In Lewis S. Warren's book, God's Red Sun, he argues the harsh reality of Christianity and its treatment, as well as the American religion and its negative effects on the native populace. For instance, Warren highlights the ghost dance incident in 1889 as pictured here, where, quote, although the ghost dance was a peaceful movement of a gathering of natives, the federal government suppressed the religion, end quote, due to the Christian majority of settlers fearing and resenting the native religion, as well as comparing it to incidents such as Wounded Knee and how the Christians' blind beliefs caused hurt and misunderstanding as well as conflict with the natives. So again, it comes back to that root point of this video. There are other religions in America, and it is fear that causes the issues. Not, there's no root hate here. It's because of misunderstanding and fear. They don't understand the minority, so they wish to stamp it out, just as they did with the native religion. As a minority religion at a time of oppression, the ghost dance suffered and was stamped out by the settlers and federal government. This highlights the effects of religion in America's growth and expansion, as well as they marched west, and the effect it had on the resulting culture. They believed they were right, so they forcefully stamped out the religion they did not understand. And that is what I fear might happen again as history repeats itself if we do not broaden our horizons with religion in America. I will put links to these books in the bottom of the description today, but that does about wrap it up. Again, short little video, just kind of close to my heart. I want to point out the history of paganism in America, the spirituality, and how it is the not understanding of the smaller religions that causes the issues. So the other religions are here, and I think they're here to stay. And I hope you learned something from this video and you take away something for it. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, we will have a video on I believe the Mongols, and I think is what I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be a bit of a unique take on that, and so I hope you see that next week. But again, thank you so much for watching. I am John for the History Armada, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.